Good evening and welcome to TACAC's Virtual College Fair. I'm John, your facilitator for the evening. During this session, it's webinar style, so we cannot see or hear you. So if you have any questions for our representative this evening, please use the Q&A button that's on the screen below you as well. Also, don't forget there'll be other sessions happening this week at TACAC as well, so please sign up for other sessions to kind of find about different colleges and universities around the country as well. And also, don't forget that we'll be recording of this event available at strivescan.com/Texas as well. So that's all the housekeeping things I need to cover for the evening. Let's get our presentations beginning right now. First, we're going to have is Western Oregon University.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. We're Western Oregon University. We are one of the smallest public universities in the state of Oregon. Here are some fun facts about Western. We were funded in 1856. We're the oldest public university. We are located in Monmouth, Oregon, which is 15 miles away from Salem, about 63 miles away from Portland. We're considered medium in the state of Oregon, but we're fairly small. We have about 4,500 students enrolled at Western. Our average class size is 19 to 22 students per classroom. Our ratio with meeting with our professors is 15:1. So it's that perfect fit for you if you're looking for something small. Our admission requirements for incoming freshmen is that you must have a 2.75 GPA, have a C- or better in your 15 core subjects in high school, which is your 4 years of English, 3 of math, 3 of science, social science, 2 years of language. We do not require the ACT or the SAT, so that's something you do not have to worry about. If you decide to go to a community college first and then transfer over to Western, you're more than welcome to do so as well. Our requirements for transfer students is to have a 2.25 GPA, have at least 36 transferable quarter hours or 24 semester credits, and then just request your transcripts to be sent over to us to the admissions office. Ready to apply? Honestly, it's really easy for you to apply. You just fill out our application online. You request your official transcripts to be sent to our admissions email. We're rolling admissions, so we do not have a deadline for you. You can apply whenever you like. So you can just give it 2 to 3 weeks. But now we have a new thing, what's called the priority deadline, which is January 15th, that if you apply beforehand, before January 15th or on January 15th, you're guaranteed that we're going to give you a decision from Western. That way you have an opportunity to apply for scholarships. Our deadline for scholarship is March 1st. So you have to be admitted first before you can even apply to our scholarships. Our applications for fall 2022 are waived, so they're free, so you can apply for free right now. It's really simple. Like I said, application, official transcripts, and that's all you have to do. From there, we have what's called the Texas Tuition or the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program. So all these students receive a reduced tuition rate, which we'll get to the pricing in a bit. But our students can get this automatically. They do not have to apply separately or anything. Just by us seeing your transcripts and your application, you're automatically already into this program. I mean, you can see our tuition for Texas Tuition or Western Undergraduate Exchange students. Tuition is $14,499, which you only pay half of that instead of paying the out-of-state tuition, which is almost $30,000. Your first year is going to be your most expensive year just because you are required to live on campus. So room and boarding is $10,803, a total of $21,772. But don't let that discourage you. We have scholarships. We have the presidential scholarship where you can automatically receive it if you have a 3.6 GPA or higher. That ranges from $1,000 to $4,000. From there, we also have our general scholarship that you do have to apply every single year. That one starts at $1,000. From there, we have our diversity commitment scholarship that is up to $6,000, renewable for 5 years. You just have to maintain a certain GPA at Western. From there, we also have the bilingual teacher scholarship. That one is up to $3,000 as well. It's renewable for 5 years. You just have to maintain that certain GPA at Western. And remember, our scholarship deadline is March 1st. From there, we used to be just an education institution. Now we have over 50 majors and minors. Our most popular one is education, business, criminal justice, psychology, computer science, exercise science, biology, pre-nursing, and American Sign Language. These are some of our most popular ones. From there, if you're into sports, we're NCAA Division II. These are sports for women. These are sports for men. For this fall, 2022, we will be having a soccer team for men. We're really excited to have that. So if that's something you're interested, please contact our coach, which is Mr. Rodriguez. You can always go to wouwolves.com. And that way you can ask them about scholarship opportunities, as well as what kind of things you need to send in to be recruited through them. From there, we have our student services and support. We have different variety of support systems that we support our students. We have the student success advising that helps our students out when it comes to classes, the tutoring center, the Office of Disability and Services, the multicultural student services and programs that help our students, our diversity, bilingual or on-track students. We also have the service learning career development that help our students with academic advice, career advice, internships, hands-on experience through international service trips, or anything like that. That's pretty much it. There's my contact information if you have any questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Western Oregon University. Now we're going to go right down the road for you and go to University of Oregon.
Good evening, young scholars. My name is Richard Clare. I have the privilege to serve as the admissions counselor for the University of Oregon. I am based in Eugene. I am sitting in for my colleague, Olivia Manwarren, who is our regional admissions representative who's based in Houston. So our campus is located in Eugene, Oregon, which is about 2 hours south of Portland. We have a beautiful 295-acre campus, state-of-the-art facilities. Like most places in the Pacific Northwest, Eugene is a beautiful area for outdoor recreation. As you can see, we're nestled between the Oregon coast and the Cascade Mountains. Through our outdoor program, if you love to ski, if you've been on skiing trip and hiking trips with your families in the past, Eugene is a beautiful area, quintessential college town where our students have the opportunity to engage our local community through a variety of community events and outreach programming. Eugene is very accessible. As you can see, we have students who are on campus, who are thriving, who are doing amazing things in the classroom and beyond. So we can fly directly into Eugene. We have a small regional airport for our students. And speaking of our students, we have over 18,000 undergraduate students who represent all 50 states, including the wonderful state of Texas, and nearly 100 countries represented. And this really conveys our geographical diversity among our academic community, where you'll have the opportunity to learn and engage students who look like you, those who don't look like you, and those who bring a different academic and cultural and ethnic experience to the classroom setting. And that really enhances our undergraduate student experience at the University of Oregon. As you all are navigating this process, probably thinking, hey, what am I going to study? At the University of Oregon, we offer 9 schools and colleges. That does include our Robert E. Clark Ernest College and our graduate school and law school. So these are some of our notable majors that are popular among our students. So whether you want to study music, or if you want to study psychology, economics, or theater arts, or pursue a professional program through our Lunkus College of Business or our School of Architecture and Environment, we have dedicated academic advising staff for you to really support you in that strategic academic exploration. But my encouragement to you students, as you're navigating this process, you don't have to have everything all figured out. Most of our students enrolled in the university are as undecided or exploring. So we really want to support you in navigating in your first year or two. You don't have to declare a major upon applying for general admission. As a Tier 1 research institution, our students have the opportunity to learn from the best and brightest faculty across all academic disciplines, and we do conduct research. And this is a great way for our students to really explore an academic discipline that they may have an interest in. But this also conveys that our faculty doing amazing things by expanding the respective disciplines that they teach. So our faculty not only teach our undergraduate students, but they collaborate with you. As you can see, 74% of our students engage faculty of some sort through a research and or collaborative creative project. And we are a proud member of the Association of American Universities, which we're recognized for our academic and interdisciplinary research and innovation throughout the state and the United States. One way our wonderful students can enhance their undergraduate experience is through a study abroad experience and also international internships. This is a great way through our Global Education Oregon office. We have program advisors that will help students identify a particular country and a program that aligns with their academic interests and their current professional objectives. So we really encourage students to, if you want to travel the world, if you want to develop your language skills, or if you want to develop a global network and maybe pursue that first entry-level job when you prepare for life after the University of Oregon, we have a dedicated staff to help you identify those programs. One way to develop a community on campus is through our student clubs and organizations. And also we have a variety of intramural clubs and we have Division I NCAA athletic programs. We do have a first year level requirement for our students. So this is one way for our students to really develop a sense of community within our residence life program. And we have gender equity residential halls. We have residence halls based on students' academic and or social interests. Transition quickly to the application process. There's 3 ways for our students to apply to University of Oregon: through the Common App, Coalition, and our very own the Oregon application. Young scholars, we do not preference an application platform. We want you to apply to the University of Oregon through the platform that's most convenient and feasible for you. These are some of the things that we consider. We conduct a holistic evaluation of students' application. We're looking at GPA. There is no set GPA to be considered for admission to the University of Oregon. We're looking at grade trends. We're looking at academic courses and course rigor. Beyond your core academic courses, you have 4 years of English, 3 years of math, science, and social science, and 2 years of the same language. We want to see that you leverage your high school's most challenging and demanding curriculum, such as advanced placement, international baccalaureate, maybe some dual enrollment coursework through your local community college or four-year institution. We are test optional, so students are not disadvantaged in the admissions process if they do not submit official SAT and or ACT scores. Some deadlines to be mindful of. We're quickly approaching our early action deadline. Early action is non-binding at the University of Oregon. So if you apply for early action consideration, you have the flexibility to continue to navigate the process before making a decision by May 1. And then our regular admission deadline is January 15th. That is a hard deadline, especially for those students to be considered for our automatic merit-based scholarships. These are our non-residential scholarships. Our stamps and our diversity excellence scholarships, however, they do require a separate application process. But for the U of O Excellence Summit and Apex, our students will automatically be considered for those. And as long as they meet the academic GPA requirement, you'll be awarded that upon admission. Oregon Guarantee is a great way to lock in your tuition rate for our students to really access a high quality and affordable education at the University of Oregon. This is our commitment to you to lock in your tuition so you and your family can anticipate the cost of tuition from year to year. This, however, does not include room and board, but it does include your tuition and mandatory fees. This is my colleagues, Olivia Mann-Warden's contact information. So if you do have any follow-up questions, she'll be more than happy to connect with you. So please feel free to reach out to her. I want to thank you for your time. And I look forward to hear from our other colleagues. Go Ducks.
All right, thank you so much, University of Oregon. Next, we'll have University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Sorry. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today. My name is Peyton. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. See if I can get it to work. Awesome. So we are a large public university located in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. We have about 31,000 students currently enrolled in our undergraduate and graduate programs. On the screen, you'll see a map that is going to kind of demonstrate where some of our students are coming from. We did just rank in the top 1% of most diverse campuses across the nation, and so it's a pretty big deal. The dots on this map kind of show where some of our students are coming from. So the larger the dot, the more students and alumni we have in that area. So we do have a lot from the United States, but then also Southeast Asia as well. We offer over 300 undergraduate and graduate majors here at UNLV. About 78 of those are going to be undergrad majors and 71 are going to be minors. So they're all broken down into 16 colleges you'll see on the screen. Just to go into a few, we are the only university in Southern Nevada. And so our business students oftentimes graduate with 5+ job offers right out the gate because we don't have a lot of competition for our business students, but there's a lot of job opportunities here in our backyard. We have a rapid growing engineering program with a lot of really unique majors within it, things that are going to be very much connecting theater arts with engineering. So to create sets and designs and a lot of technology things that are going to be great for shows and things like that would be here in Las Vegas. We do have the #1 hospitality program in the nation. So if you're thinking anything events, you're thinking anything to do with golf management, restaurant management, hotel management, UNLV is the great place for you. We do have a different entity to that as hospitality is now under our business college, which is very unique. We do have a rapid growing medical program. We just graduated our first med students in 2021. So we are a fully accredited med school, which is really awesome. And then urban affairs is a really popular one, as many of the others have kind of mentioned too, criminal justice, anything with journalism, and that kind of thing as well. So we have a lot of opportunities at UNLV. The first one is study abroad. We do have study abroad in a typical year, about 28 different countries that our students are studying abroad in. It's a great way to kind of travel inexpensively, as all of your financial aid, scholarships, and grants will travel with you. We have a lot of unique academic programs that are very specific to our location, but also specific to the majors. We are an R1 research institution, so we're performing that cutting edge of research. Like was kind of mentioned, there's about 130 institutions across the nation that have this classification. It also means that as an undergrad student, we really encourage you to participate in research. And so if you're thinking at all to go into professional school or medical school, it's definitely something good to get on your resume. And then almost all of our programs are going to have some type of internship aspect to them. And so we offer a lot of internship opportunities for our students. We also have a lot of fun things to do here on campus. And so we have a lot of traditions, anything from homecoming to UNLV premiere, which I'll talk about. That's the picture that's behind me, to a lot of just day events that are going to have a lot of free food, free swag, and that kind of thing. We have about 400 clubs and organizations on campus. And so if you're looking to get involved in Greek life, or you want to join an organization that is about trying all the pizza in Las Vegas, or you want to join something that's related to your major, we kind of have something for everyone. And then we are D1 for athletics. All of our students will get free admissions into home games. And if football is your thing, we do have our home football stadium is Allegiant Stadium, which is the Las Vegas Raiders, the NFL team stadium here in town. So that's a pretty big deal. Our general admissions for UNLV, we are looking for a 3.0 core GPA. So that's going to be in your English, math, social science, and natural sciences. If you don't have the 3.0, we are test optional and we can admit you on test scores. So we're looking for an 1120 SAT or a 22 ACT. And then if you have an advanced diploma, we can definitely talk about looking at that as well. And then if you decided to transfer, we are looking for a 2.5 GPA and 24 or more transferable credits. Our application is open now. Priority consideration for scholarships and financial aid is going to be getting your materials, both your application to UNLV as well as your financial aid FAFSA form to us by November 15th. However, we do have rolling admissions, and so we will accept students until about June 1st. And then if you're transferring, July 1 is going to be the fall deadline, and then December 1 is going to be the spring deadline. We do offer a lot of campus tours. If you can't physically get to Las Vegas, we do have virtual tours as well. So those are definitely an option if you go to that website on the very bottom. But we also do spotlight tours. And so these are going to be, if you want to go through just a specific college, you can definitely do that instead of doing the full campus tour. But we do have virtual ones that you can attend daily as well. We do always have a shameless plug for our social media. We have a lot of day in the life, what it's like to be at UNLV. We get a lot of questions being so close to the strip and having that in our backyard. A lot of parents like to see kind of what it's really like to have a campus in the middle of a city as well. And so that can kind of help answer some of those questions. And then we also have, this is some of the information to find who your admissions counselor is. I'll also drop that later in the chat if we have the ability to do so.
All right, thank you so much, UNLV. Next, we'll have University of Montana.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Jerica from the University of Montana. So here's going to be a main picture of our oval. This is going to be kind of a hub for all of our students on campus. In the spring and summer and the fall, you're going to see students playing frisbee, slacklining. There's going to be dogs all over. And then in the winter, we actually transform one of our quadrants into an ice skating rink. So there are activities for students to kind of do all year round. For those of you that maybe aren't 100% sure where Montana is or Missoula, we're actually in the Rocky Mountain West, so the western part of Montana. We've got an airport about 15 minutes away from campus, and we do have direct flights kind of all over. So Seattle, Portland, LA, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City. So definitely being able to get home for any weekend events, Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, we've got lots of options for students. Life in Missoula, our population is just over 70,000, with our school population being about 10,000 total. So as you can see, the campus does make up a big portion of Missoula, but the community is really kind of what people are focused on. We have great community members that are really kind of helping our students succeed and kind of cheering them on through all of their academics and events. That you can kind of see over here across the river is going to be our downtown area. So we're going to have things like live music, food trucks, all of our local restaurants and shops are over there. It's about a 10-minute walk from campus. So students can pretty easily get somewhere else if they're looking to kind of see what Missoula has to offer. We do lots of cultural events as well, and we're really well known for outdoor recreation. So the mountains, hiking, biking, fishing. We actually have a place where students can surf. Skiing and snowboarding are also really popular in Missoula. So the numbers, yeah, we have about 8,500 undergraduate students, about 10,000 including our graduate programs. We're going to have over 170 academic pathways, so that's majors, minors, and certificates. More than 70% of our classes are going to have 30 students or less, and we have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So really being able to make sure our students are getting access to their professors, their faculty mentors, teaching assistants, to get them help with whatever they need in their classes. So at the university, we have 6 main colleges. Those range from arts, education, business, forestry, health sciences, anything that students are interested in. We also have Missoula College. It's about 5 minutes away from the main campus, and it's going to include things like an Associate of Arts and Science, as well as our paramedicine, paralegal studies, culinary arts, welding, anything like that. And then we do have the only fully accredited law school in the state of Montana. So our undergraduates, we're really focused on getting them hands-on experiences before they either graduate and get a job, or whether or not they want to attend grad school, med school, something after. So the way that we do this is we're making sure students are having classes that they kind of go out into the field for. So some of those include, we have cadaver labs, we have a 26,000 acre experimental forest for our students to work in. We also encourage our students to get internships, which they can do in Missoula, they can do in Montana, they can also do it nationally or internationally. And then we do offer study abroad. So we have over 250 partner universities in over 58 countries. So lots of different options for students to get out and see different places, take different courses, find an internship that they're really interested in. Our admissions requirements, we ask that students meet one of two, either have above a 2.5 cumulative unweighted high school GPA, or be in their top half of their graduating class. If a student doesn't meet those, they could also get a 22 on the ACT or an 1120 on the SAT, but we're not actually requiring any test scores going forward. Our application is pretty easy. There's no essays or letters of recommendation, and we are on rolling admission, so there are no deadlines for students to apply. Another application that students might see is the Davidson Honors College. This is for students who are looking for a little bit more rigorous coursework, gives them the opportunity to take some different courses and different disciplines that are working towards their major. We also have the Franke Global Leadership Initiative, which is a certificate program that students can apply for. It usually caps at about 150 students, and they take in and out of the classroom experiences that focus on current global issues. So our estimated cost of attendance for that out of state, you're going to see just over $29,000 for tuition and fees. What's important to note about this cost is that it's not including any scholarships or financial aid. So that's the most expensive that you would ever see that cost. We have lots of different scholarship opportunities at UM. One of them is our incoming student scholarships. These are automatic, meaning that based on a student's GPA, once they apply, will automatically receive a certain amount. If it's over 3.0, renewable for up to 4 years. We also have our UM scholarship portal, which students would gain access to after they submit an application and are accepted. These are going to be donor-based scholarships. So they're based on major, some are merit-based, some are financial need-based. They are one-year awards, so students would have to apply each academic year, and they are stackable. As you can see over there, that's going to be your those different scholarship awards, so students can find kind of which category they fit into best. Financial aid, we're also enrolling FAFSA, so priority deadline is December 1st, but again, students can apply a little bit later as well. Some of our graduation resources. We do have over 200 student clubs on campus that range in different areas for whatever students are interested in. We are a Division I school, so if students are interested in athletics, watching any type of game, we have lots of different options. And this is my contact information. So if you have any questions, you can always give me a call or send me an email, and I'd be happy to help you.
Thank you so much, University of Montana. Next, we're going to have Reed College.
Hi, y'all. My name is Emma. I am the admission counselor here at Reed for Texas. I am also a Reed alum myself, class of 21. So what is Reed? Reed is a small private liberal arts college located here in Portland, Oregon, where I am right now. So in terms of numbers, small, we've got about 1,500 students, an average class size of 17, and a student faculty ratio of 9:1. And that small community is really important to how we operate here and how we think of being at Reed. You'll see a lot of familiar faces as you go through the school, and everyone comes to this place to really contribute something. And then we're a liberal arts college, so that means that we really encourage students to take some breadth in their curriculum and explore different classes and see what different ways there are to approach the same question, the same problem. So to do liberal arts at Reed, we encourage that students take 3 classes in 3 different divisions, 3 in the math and natural sciences, 3 in the literature, languages, and arts, and 3 in the social sciences. You can really mix and match, find something that you're passionate in, step way outside your comfort zone, but you build that schedule with the help of a professor who's your advisor to really make sure you're set up for success to do liberal arts. And they're also located in Portland, Oregon. We are in the heart of Southeast Portland. So we're about a 20-minute bus ride from downtown Portland, and in the middle of the Woodstock neighborhood, and well within reach of a bunch of other cool places in the city. In terms of academics, I want to highlight a couple of things that we do that I think make us stand out. At Reed, we have a unique grading policy where you have grades as a Reed student, but you don't see them unless you ask. So what that means is that we really put the focus away from the number and put it back into you, your work, and how you can improve. When you turn in an essay or an exam, the professor will put a lot of qualitative feedback into that, what you've done well, where you can improve, their advice. They put a grade in the grade book, but when you get it back, you just have that feedback. So we're really focused on making students a lot more independent and confident in their work, knowing what they've done, and also emphasizing collaboration rather than competitiveness. We have a really collaborative learning environment and a collaborative campus in general, and that collaboration comes out in a lot of different ways, but especially in our classroom. Like I said, we've got those small class sizes. The majority of our classes are a conference, which is our word for a discussion-based class where you're sitting, talking through the work, what you've done, whether that's arguing over, the use of one word in your upper level Russian class, or trying to figure out multiple ways to solve a physics problem in intro physics. Another big part of academics at Reed is research. We have a lot of different opportunities to research, starting even in your first year as a student, whether that's working in a lab with faculty, working, to make the English department more inclusive, working on syllabi in a religion class, writing an art history professor with a paper, writing an art history paper with a professor and getting that published. Research is a big part of your education, but it really caps out in the thesis. Every Reed student writes a senior thesis, which is a year-long independent research project undertaken by you in your major with the advisory of a professor in your department. I like to think of the thesis as asking a big question, figuring out how to answer it, and then writing that short book that shows how you did that. That can be everything from how do I better measure wildfire smoke in the Pacific Northwest, to what's going to happen if I perform this play once as it's written and once as we understand it. And then in terms of social life at Reed, I would really encourage students to be all parts of themselves and try things of interest to them. We have a nuclear reactor on campus, for example, that is very, very safe, but it's run by our undergrads, and anyone can go through that training and work on the reactor regardless of major. So we don't have anything that creates an in-group or an out-group. So we have no Greek life and no varsity sports, though we do have a couple of club sports. But students really get to try out all the things that they're interested in. In terms of living on campus, we require that our first and second years live on campus. Our dorms are fabulous. Most of our first years are living in a divided double model where they have a roommate, but there's a wall in between the two of them. So you have that person to go through your first year with, but you also have privacy when you need it. And all first years are living with other first years on their floors, sophomores with sophomores, etc. So there's a robust community there and a lot of ways to make friends. And then in terms of admission and financial aid at Reed, we have no application fee, so it's free to apply. You can apply through the Common or the Coalition app. We have a couple of deadlines coming up. November 15th, we have Early Decision 1 and Early Action. Early Decision 1 is where you say, if I get in, I'm going to Reed. Early Action is not that commitment. So I really recommend either of those to a student who wants to get ahead of the curve. We also have a second early decision deadline on December 20th and a regular decision deadline on January 15th. Reed is test blind, so we're not looking at the ACT or SAT score at all in our admissions process. And then in terms of financial aid, we ask that students submit the FAFSA and CSS profile. We take the information given there. We see what your family can contribute. We take the full cost of the Reed education, tuition, room, board, moving from far away, living in a city. We subtract out what your family can contribute, and then we make up the difference entirely. So we meet full demonstrated financial need through a mix of majority grant, some small loan, and a small student work component. Email me with any more questions, and definitely check out our visit website. We have a ton of different ways to visit virtually, in person, and in person. So yeah, thanks all.
Thank you so much, Reed College. Next, we'll have Pacific University, Oregon.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we're just going to move a little bit more west for Pacific University, Oregon. My name is Derek, and I am your admissions counselor here at Pacific. So if you're a senior and you're applying to Pacific University, I'm actually the one who's going to be reading your application when you apply. And at Pacific, we are a small private liberal arts university. We're located just a little bit west of Portland, so about 25 miles. Or drive time, it's about half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on traffic. You can fly directly into Portland International Airport, one of the top airports in the country. And then you're able to actually use mass transportation to get all the way out to our campus. So we are still part of that Portland Metro. We have those connections to places like Nike and Intel and big companies that are right there in the Portland Metro area. But the other side of that is we're right on the edge of it. So 15 minutes off our campus, you can be hiking in this Tillamook National Forest you see right behind me. Over 2,500 miles of hiking trails, Hag Lake, where you can go surf or paddleboarding, or getting out to the Oregon coast in only about an hour drive and being able to surf or explore out there. So our students are able to experience a lot, both with that city nearby, but also being able to get out into that beautiful Pacific Northwest. And that's part of the adventure for our students, is to not just be stuck in one place or have to travel a long distance to do those things, but to be able to mix that in with their education while they're at Pacific. And while they're here, you're going to apply to Pacific. You don't have to apply to specific programs or specific schools or honors colleges, because when you apply to Pacific, you're applying to any of our 75 different majors, minors, and programs. We're best known for like the pre-health professions, pre-physical therapy, pre-optometry, kinesiology, those type of things. But we also have nationally and regionally ranked creative writing, education, business, and anthropology programs. So you're going to find a little bit of everything while you're here. And that great part about not having to pick that major when you come in is you have time to change your mind. You get to try out the majors. You get to try a few different classes and find out exactly what you want to do, because you have till the end of your sophomore year to make that decision. And you're going to get that small classroom atmosphere you've heard a little bit about. But one of the big highlights for Pacific, for all of our 1,900 undergraduate students in all the 75 different majors, minors, and programs, all the classes are taught by professors. We don't have any TAs doing any teaching here. You're learning from full professors in those small classrooms. Our largest lecture hall only seats 60 students. So you're going to know those professors and they're going to know you. And at Pacific, you're going to get a 4-year education, where one of the schools actually guarantees that 4 years in and out, and that you aren't going to have to stick around for 4th or 5th or 6th years. And while you're here, we're going to start you with job shadowing, research, and internship your freshman and sophomore year, because we know it's really important not just to get that degree, but to also add in that resume. And as a top private research university in the Pacific Northwest, you're going to get that opportunity across all spectrums of the majors here at Pacific, whether that's working in a research lab here on campus, or maybe that's doing something like an internship at Nike, or publishing your own works in the creative writing department. We know that that's going to build up the background for our students and be able to give them that next step right away, so that after those 4 years, they're able to take that next step and get that job or go on to graduate school. And over 93% of our students, even last year in the craziness, were able to do that within a few months of graduation. But at the same time, we do also want you to take a break and enjoy, whether that's through our student life, joining some of our 70 different clubs and organizations. And one really unique thing that you'll get to experience coming from Texas up to campus, about 15% of our students come from Hawaii. So you're going to be able to be experienced a different culture. And we actually host the largest student-run luau anywhere on the mainland US, right here in Forest Grove. So you can actually join in a luau while you're a student here at Pacific, or maybe in the performing arts, music, dance, and theater, where you don't need to major or minor, but you get to take part in those programs as a student here, or joining some of our 24 varsity NCAA Division III Northwest Conference athletics and competing against other teams, or our 20 intramural sports and competing against your friends and your classmates here on campus. You're going to find your identity, your affiliation, your group here on campus, but it's not going to be just one. You're going to be able to pick 3 or 4 or 5 of these things to mix in with that major, that minor, and still be able to do all of this in 4 years. We also want our students to take those ideas that they're learning outside of the classroom, whether that's, again, exploring the Pacific Northwest, getting out through our outdoor pursuits office and surfing, skiing, or getting into the mountains and hiking and rock climbing, or even getting our outdoor leadership major and minor. Or studying abroad, we offer that to all of our students as part of that 4-year guarantee. You are able to study abroad, both for that full semester year or 2-week travel classes in January, where you're going with a professor to a foreign country and experiencing that as a student. We also give a huge amount of community service, and our students love to give back both regionally and through some of those travel abroad classes in the winter. And again, for all of our students, you're going to apply through the Common App. It's the only application we use, so you won't be able to find another one. You're going to apply online. It's completely free. And when you apply, you're applying to Pacific. There's no in-state or out-of-state tuition, and there's no in-state or out-of-state scholarships. All of our students have the exact same opportunity to come in and earn scholarship towards Pacific. And there's 3 different ways to do that. You can earn that through our academic merit scholarship, where we're looking at your academic profile. We're looking at your grades, the type of classes you've taken, that essay you write in the Common App. And if you want to include your test scores as part of that, you are welcome to, but they're not required. Pacific is test optional. You can be admitted to Pacific and receive our highest merit scholarship without test scores. You can also audition for music, dance, and theater scholarships. Or if you are interested in learning more about Pacific, sign up for one of our senior preview scholarship days, where you get an opportunity to get a better feel for campus, whether that's coming out in person on a Friday or virtually on a Saturday, listening to a little bit more of a presentation, getting to meet some of the admission staff, current students, professors, and earning a $1,000 a year scholarship for participating. So I know you're getting a lot of information tonight, so please feel free to follow up with me. My contact information is right here, and I will make sure to add it into the chat as well. Reach out with any questions you might have about becoming a boxer, and thank you all.
Thank you so much, Pacific University. Now, can we have all our reps back on screen again? We're going to finish up this evening with some words of advice that they all will give you to kind of help you along the way in the college journey. And if we could just present in the order that we presented this evening. So we'll start off first with Western Oregon.
So some advice I would give students is do your research, really like go visit campus and everything. Make sure you save all your essays when it comes to the scholarships. Practically all essays are practically the same thing. Just keep yourself organized. Make sure have like a to-do list. Prioritize like what's most important, what you need to get done first, and ask for help. Ask us reps, admissions counselors, we can help you out as well, answer any kind of questions that you might have.
Great advice. I think for our seniors that is with us today, this may seem like a time of uncertainty. You may feel like you're behind in the process. Just know that we're here to support you through this process and really leverage all of the resources that are at your disposal. And that could be your guidance counselor, your career and college specialist if your high school has one of those on staff. And just know that you have ample time to apply to the schools that you are considering, and that you will get through this process. You survived a global pandemic, so you'll definitely survive this college search process.
Yeah, I think my biggest advice would be to take chances and kind of just go out of your comfort zone. You can move anywhere and go anywhere for a few years, and you can always go back to Texas if you want to, but you'll never know if you like somewhere else if you don't explore it and try it. And so my biggest piece of advice is to always go out of state and just try something new.
My advice would be that ultimately you're investing in your future careers, your future academics. So that is the most important thing, so making sure that you pick a college that's the right fit for you, that it has the location you want, the academic programs you want. Scholarships are always helpful, but ultimately, making the best decision for you, regardless of, maybe what your friends or other family members encourage you. You're really the one that's getting the most out of it. And also, being able to change your mind. You don't have to come in with a major if you don't know what you want to study. You don't have to stick with a major if you don't love it. Being able to kind of have your own independence to figure out exactly what you want to do with your future.
Yeah, lots of great advice thrown around. I guess one thing that I would add is don't be afraid to reach out to your college admission counselor. Please come talk to us. We love working with y'all. I know I love Texas students. My family is from Texas. I'm from Mississippi, so no question is too small for me. And yeah, take advantage of the resources that we've made available, that the pandemic has had us do. Come see us virtually, give us a call, watch these videos. So check us out and yeah, stay in touch. We love answering your questions. So yeah, use all of those context info that we put in the chat.
And one thing that's a little bit different, but I always like to tell families and students is to not just focus on one word when you're looking at colleges, because we all have this really obnoxious habit where we will rename anything we possibly can as a college just so we can sound unique, whether it's majors or clubs, or we even rename sports from time to time. So if you have that idea of what you might want to study, don't just look for one word. A really simple way, just go into Google and type in, what's this major called? And you might find 6 or 7 other versions of it, which is going to open up all these other opportunities everybody else was talking about. But if you're just looking for that one program or one state, you might actually miss out on 6 or 7 really cool opportunities because we called it something just slightly different.
Wonderful, wonderful information. Thank you all for doing that. And thank you all for coming to hang out with us this evening as well for this event. Now, do remember there'll be other sessions going on throughout the week, so please sign up for those as well. Hopefully this journey will be a great one for you and find a right fit for yourself in the end. And from all of us at TACAC, have a wonderful evening. And thank you all so much for coming. Have a great one.